All right.
Okay.
I just can't stop. All right. Hello. Hey there. This is our coaches chat. So there are times when we just have random topics on our mind, and even though they're not really random, they have a purpose to them, or they're just things that are going on. And so we usually start chatting about them, and then we just go down this rabbit hole. And so we thought that we would share what is on our mind right now, which is January. So we are partway through January, and Patrick, what would you say to somebody that has not started yet? Maybe they have a New Year's resolution to get to the gym, but they haven't started yet.
I would say that there's no perfect day to start.
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody's like, oh, I gotta wait till the first of the month. Well, I don't ever start on the first. I always start in the middle of the month, or like I never start on a Thursday or a Wednesday. Like you don't have to wait for Monday. You don't have to wait for the first or the middle. Like when it's on your heart to start a fitness routine, just do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and if you can't join a gym or if you don't have access to anything like that until Monday or whatever, but it's on your heart to start on a Tuesday, just do it. Like go outside.
Mm-hmm.
Nature is free. You can walk outside. Like, and it's actually like really nice. Like because a lot of us are so like I'll just say overstimulated,
Mm-hmm.
whether it be work, whether it be like we always have to have something going on. Like we're all creatures of habit now, which is
You see people walking around like this,
yeah. What are you looking
texting
at?
and walking, and
Yeah,
I mean, I'm guilty of it, but yeah.
yeah. So like, take the time to undistract yourself. Like,
Mm-hmm.
remove the noise and allow yourself time to be with your thoughts. Like, so I would say, go for a walk. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if you have the time and you want to start a fitness routine, but you either can't join the gym until Monday or whatever it may be, whatever your reason is, just do it the day that it's on you, on your mind, and on your heart to do it. Like, because you'll have better success with that
Yeah.
than waiting for the perfect day, the perfect time, the perfect temperature, the perfect outfit. Like,
Mm-hmm.
none of that matters.
Yeah. They all kind of come down to excuses, right? As to things that, like, why our brain is trying to trick us into not doing it because we're going to be uncomfortable, right? Like starting a fitness routine when you've been sedentary or not that active, maybe running around with kids, but not,
Yeah,
not intentionally active. So if you're not intentionally active, and then that's going to get you outside your comfort zone, you're going to get uncomfortable, and our brain is trying to figure out how to not, we don't want to go down that road. Like we like being comfortable, even though progress doesn't happen in comfort zones. We
right.
have to get out of those. So sometimes some of those things are just excuses that we tell ourselves to keep going.
Yeah.
So do you think that, like with the mindset part, that if you've got like on a Thursday that you're like, I'm going to start, so you mentioned about going and taking a walk, but like, what do you think that does mentally? Like, how does that help us mentally be able to carry on with actually starting a routine?
Yeah. I mean, I've never went for a walk and came back and been like, that was a bad idea. Like,
Mm-hmm.
my body always feels better
Mm-hmm.
when I get back because, if there's just some sort of like bound up tension or whatever from, not being active for the day or sitting for long periods of time, like you just need to stretch your body. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it feels good to walk, but also, again, going back to that, we need to be unplugged.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's nice to just kind of be with your thoughts. Same as a workout where you're like, if you do a heavy or an intense workout and it's like you're laying on the floor, like we were talking about this with a member the other day about how after every workout, it's like basically impossible to be in a bad mood
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
because you've cleared your mind space. Your body is, is thanking you because it
Mm-hmm.
was like, it's almost like craving that feeling of, you know,
You work this.
intensity,
Yeah.
exhaustion, like just movement.
Hmm.
Um,
Well, that's what we were designed for, right? We were
right.
designed for moving our bodies, not for sitting at a desk all
Yeah.
day. Like, I mean, you look at like babies whenever they squat, it's like they have this perfect squat, they can get up and off of the ground, and just
Hmm.
move all around. And then, as we get older, what happens? How do we lose that? And it's because we
Yeah.
we do more sitting, or we're, then we have jobs and we have things where then we don't get to take care of ourselves and we forget about playing on the ground, or just
Yeah.
play in general of moving our bodies.
Yeah. I think you get locked into these motor patterns that are
Mhm.
just like, ugh.
Yeah.
Whenever our bodies are, I mean, if you just think about like your arm and like what it's capable of, like look at
Mhm.
your shoulder, like
Yeah.
what can you do with your arm? Like that thing goes
Mhm.
360 degrees in a circle and it's wild.
Yeah.
Like, but if you never move it, it gets stuck. Like
Right.
it gets stiff and you don't have access to that stuff. And like,
Mhm.
who wants to be stuck?
Yeah.
So like just little things moving your body.
When you think about these age ranges too of where this happens, and like when life and work, and you get a big boy job or get a big girl job, and then
Hmm.
it's you don't move your body like you used to, like when you played sports or just playing on the playground. That then now you haven't moved that arm in that direction. That then now what do? Like at what point do you realize that you can't move it in that, and then what are you going to do to combat that?
Yeah, I mean, you spend 50 years locked in a position, or just these similar movements that you don't ever challenge your body,
Hmm.
to not its limits, but just what your body was designed to do, how it was designed to move. Like, and then you find yourself in a spot where, like you said, you
Hmm.
can't. Like maybe you can't squat below parallel. Maybe you can't flex your knees that far.
Hmm.
Maybe you can't put your arms over your head. we our bodies are like these wild machines, and
Right.
what's cool about them is that they heal themselves.
Hmm.
And so if we give them the right environment to be able to do that, like they will. Like if you need to restore that range of motion, like it can be done. Like if it took you 50 years to get stuck in that, it may take some time. And that's another thing, like you just have to be patient with progress.
Ooh,
It's
yeah.
not immediate.
I like that.
you know
Be patient with progress.
yeah,
Yeah.
because it's not that anything can't be undone, but it sure didn't happen overnight.
Hmm.
And so if you're starting out new and fresh and you have these immediate instant goals, you need to kind of like think about that in a real world scenario, like
Hmm.
in what real world is that possible that can happen immediately.
Yeah.
Like
It's
it's
like running a marathon. I know that analogy gets used a lot of
hmm
like you're not just going to decide today I'm going to run a marathon and go run a marathon.
oh yeah.
There's probably like point whatever percent of people that could,
David Goggins.
right? Dave, there you go.
David Goggins does
Yeah,
it, and that's
but
it.
for the everyday person, I mean, that's not, and so I think a fitness routine, if we think about, a lifestyle of a lifestyle of fitness being like our marathon,
Yeah,
that we can't just go in day one and be like, ah, and like doing all the things and trashing our body, because we're definitely not finishing the marathon if we trash our body on day
sure.
one. So taking the right steps and the right progressions, the patient with progress,
hmm
to think of it as a marathon.
Yeah, otherwise you put too much pressure on yourself, and you'll crash and burn in that
Mhm.
first mile.
Yeah.
You still got 25 miles to go. Like those
Yeah.
are either not going to happen or they're not going to be enjoyable. So just being patient, understanding that like progress takes time, like
Mhm.
and consistency,
Yeah.
and that's all you have to do.
And
Like,
like the mindset of that too, of having the patience, then that comes in the mental health part of it. That
hmm
a lot of our members work out because of their mental health,
yeah,
and they're people that you would never guess that that would be their response, but that is the number one reason why they work out.
hmm
And there's some of our fit people, or people that are very consistent, and that's the physical side is secondary, like the mental health of it. So thinking about that, like, again, if you're getting started, that you have to make that choice right then and there to like trick the mind, or to to get the mind to work outside of those comfort zones, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, that it's trying to keep us comfortable, but we have to do that in order to take charge of this.
Yeah, yeah, like you said, for a lot of people, like it is their it's their outlet, it's their way of if you have one of those high stress jobs
Mm-hmm.
where there's a lot expected of you, you can come into our space or you can go into a gym
Mm-hmm.
and you can have an hour to yourself where you can solely focus on that. Like you can remove all the distractions, and especially with what we do, like you don't even have to think about it.
And
You
we
just
give it
show
to
up.
you. Yeah, we tell
And
you what
it's
to
there,
do.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what drew us to it in the
Mm-hmm.
beginning is that. But also, it's a time where you don't have to worry about the grocery pickup or the millions of loads of laundry at home or what project is due at work, like whatever it may be, like at least for an hour, and in our space, an hour, you can remove all of those thoughts from your mind, and you can cut up and laugh and joke and just enjoy people for who they are. Like, and inside of a community like that, it's one of my favorite things, not only to be a part of, but to know that other people have that, where they may not have an opportunity to have something like that anywhere else.
Yeah, on a daily basis, or
On a daily basis,
or at least at some point in their week.
Yeah.
Right, to have that, to being told you're doing a good job,
Yeah.
or you're doing great,
Yeah.
or the laughing part. I mean, how often do we get that laughter? And again, going back to the mental side of it, to be able to laugh at something, and you may come in and be like, rah, today was rah, and so to work out and get your body moving,
Yeah.
then all of a sudden you start feeling better, and then somebody over in the says something silly or off the wall,
Yeah.
and then you're just, and all of a sudden you're laughing, and then you leave, and you've gotten more than what you came for, right?
Yeah.
And
not only do you feel more energized, but also it's like you're lighthearted. Like,
yeah,
you're not worried about the 7 or 8 hours before where you may have had a bad day. Like, we've had people come in and they're like, it's just been the worst day. X, Y, and Z happened, or didn't happen.
Yeah, right.
And then they can leave. When they go, they're like, I really needed that today. Like, I really needed this today.
So I guess the big thing is the mental side, like controlling that, like gaining control of the mental side. So if you feel like you're ready to start, then just start.
Don't overcomplicate it.
Don't overcomplicate it.
Mm-hmm. Keep it simple.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So get going.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys. If you have any topics that you would love for us to talk about, just let us know, and we'd be happy to add them to our coaches chat and go from there.
You're gonna be so mad. It's staring at the floor.
It's too heavy.